So guys, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's right. Right, let me share my screen. I hope you're able to see my screen. Okay, so fine. So let me connect to the server, guys. So before connecting to the server, okay, so what and all things we discussed in the last class, guys? Can anyone tell me what and all things we discussed in the last class?
We create database tables, data types.
Right. Correct. Okay. So in the last class, we discussed about the database discussion, like how database will be organized and how the things will be organized in the last week. So how the things will be organized physically and logically in the SQL server, and how to create the database, what and all parameters. Okay, while creating the database, what and all parameters we can see, how to set those parameters. Okay, what is the meaning of those parameters? How to change, whether we can change it or not. What is file group? Okay, and we discussed about the auto growth. We discussed about the initial sizes of the database files. Okay, so and we also discussed how to create the tables. Okay, so using some basic SQL scripts, how to create the tables, how to insert the values, okay, into the tables, and how to, okay, read the data from the tables. So how can we read the data, guys, from the tables? What query we use to read the data from the tables?
Select
Like
star.
select star from
Correct.
database.
Star means
All.
All columns.
all columns. Okay. So Rajkumar, can you hear me? Yes, Rajkumar.
Your voice is so low.
Guys, is my audio clear? Any issues with my audio?
Yes, clear.
Is it okay or it is low? Yeah. Okay, just check once, Rajkumar. Okay, check your mic. If not, still if it is low, just rejoin again. Okay. Yeah, Rajkumar.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So, and we'll use select star from query. Okay, select star from table and we'll use to read the data from the table, guys. Okay, and select star from. Okay, so star means what? Star means what, guys? All the columns. Star means all the columns. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we'll filter the data. How to filter the data? Okay, in the table. How to filter the records? How to filter the, okay, what I can say, columns, how to filter the records. Okay, so we'll discuss how to use the where class today. Okay, so mostly we should know using where class. Okay, so why? Because we have a lot of results to manage, lot of output to manage the things and all. So in such case, we cannot go to each and every record. Okay, so we want to just filter the records based on the where condition, and also how to use that where condition today we'll discuss, and then we'll discuss the system databases. Okay, what is the importance of the system databases? How many system databases are there? What is the use of each system database? How SQL Server will manage the system databases? Okay, so we'll discuss everything about the system database in today's class, guys. Sorry. So I'm just connecting to the server. So anyone completed the assignment? I guess I gave you an assignment, right? Did I give you an assignment, guys, in the last week? Creating table and all, I guess, right? No assignment? Oh, okay, that's fine. Today I'll give you. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. Right, I just connected to the server remotely, guys, and let me hide out this. This is the server. Right. Okay, so let me close this as well. And let me correct it. Anyone facing any challenges, guys, till now while practicing? Any challenges till now? Connection issues?
Hello,
Yes, yes, please.
sir. Oracle VirtualBox 6.1 is mandatory or more than that version is okay?
6.1.46 is recommended. Okay, more than that version means it will ask you for the redistributable. Okay, if you go with the 7.0, you have to again install redistributable. So it will be like kind of a headache again. So just better go with the 6.1.46 or 6.1 any version.
Sir, but I am easily installed SQL Server in 7.1.
Hmm?
I am easily installed. I have already easily installed SQL Server in 7.1 Oracle VirtualBox.
7.1. So what is your
Yeah.
laptop when you bought your laptop? Is it Windows 11?
Yes, no, Windows 10. Windows 10 Pro.
Okay. See, sometimes not you, sometimes maybe, okay, you might face a challenge called install redistributables. Okay. So during that time again, okay, there is no difference between 6.1 and 7.0. Okay. Again, people will face that challenge while installing. Okay, 7.0 or 7.1. So that's why I recommended you to go with 6.1. If it is working with 7.1 also, no issues. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Okay, let me open SSMS. Any other challenges, guys, while practicing? Did you face any challenges? Tell me frankly, guys, how many of you started practicing? How many of you started creating VMs at least? At least. Praveen?
Yeah, hi Shamak.
Yes, Praveen. Yeah.
Yeah, till now I have not started.
Why? Any hota is there, Praveen?
Actually, last week I was very busy, so today
Okay.
I will do it.
Yeah. Guys, please start it, guys. Okay, well, because again, so if you are planning to start all at once again, it will be kind of clumsy. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, so once the class is completed, at least that's why we have 5 days a week. Okay, so 2 days we are taking classes, remaining 5 days we are free. At least try to spend 1 hour. Okay, I don't think it's a big deal. Initially, if you start practicing and all, later it will be very simple for you. Otherwise, if you are planning to practice everything at a time, again you are going to face a lot of challenges. Okay, so please try to practice immediately so that at least you can understand what you are doing, and all after 1 month or after 2 weeks or after 3 weeks again you will face challenges. Okay, so what is this and all? Okay, please don't do that. So at least try to practice small things at least. Okay, right. Okay, so we'll I'll show you the where class. Okay, so how to use the where class and all. I know some of you are already working, so please don't mind, guys. For others I'm showing. Okay, right. So we have three databases, guys. Azure, we have Amazon database, and we have sales database. And in the last class we discussed how to create the tables and all. Okay, so in this what we can do. Okay, so we have two tables, guys. One is items table, second one is sales tables. Okay, so if I want to read items tables, what we can do? Okay, so what and all shortcuts are there, guys, to open new query window? In how many ways
Control
we can
N.
open? Yeah, Control N, and how many ways we can open new query window?
Click on new query.
Okay, so we can just click on new query. One is that is first option, and we can right click. You can use new query. This is second option, and you can use Control plus N. Control plus N. N means new query. Okay, so Control plus N also you can use. Okay, so sometimes people will simply they are going to just click on this new query. Sometimes it's better to, for example, you are reading the data from this database, right? So try to open query window from this database. Still, if you don't open, what you have to do, guys? So what is the complete name of the table? In how many ways we can call the tables, guys? In the last class, we discussed what is the full name of the table. Even though the database context is different here, Still I want to read the data. So what is the query for that? For example, here Amazon is there. I want to read the database. I want to read the data from the Azure database. How can I do that without changing the context here?
Database name dot DBA dot table name.
Correct, correct. Okay, in the last class we discussed this, guys. So select star from, okay, database name which is Azure dot schema name which is DBO dot items. Okay, so we can use this query. So without changing the context of the database, we can directly run this query so that we can read the data from the particular table, guys. As of now, there is no data in this. Okay, so let me check in the sales. Okay, sales is one table, right? So let me execute this query. Okay, you can see here. Okay, there are five records are there and 3 columns are there. Okay, so we have 5 records and 3 columns, guys. Okay, so what we can do now, let me create one more table, employee table. Okay, so that we can use where condition and all. Right, so I'm going to create an employee table, guys. Okay, and in which database, Zero, Amazon, sales. Okay, let me create a employee table in the Amazon database. Okay, so create table employee. Okay, so I'm going to give columns, 3-4 columns. So employee ID, so I have to give a data type integer. Employee name, so where care of 100 I'll give, and employee location. Okay, so where care of 100 I'll give, and salary. Okay, money data type I'm going to add, guys. Okay, so just use this query. Okay, so what we can do, you can better habituate to use the keyboard as much as you can, guys. Okay, instead of cursor, you can better use the keyboard as much as you can. So just go down once and use your shift plus down arrow so that the whole line will be selected. Okay, shift plus down arrow, shift plus down arrow will help you to select the whole line. So for that, what you have to do, just hit enter once so that it will go to next line. Shift plus down arrow is going to select the whole line. So just execute this command and it's just created a employee table. So I'm going to insert some records in this. Insert into employee values. I'm going to insert some values in this 1 comma something like Smith. Okay, and he's from New York. Okay, so New York, comma, and his salary is okay 60,000. Okay, so just let me copy this and control V, control V, control V, control V, control V. Okay, control V. Right. So now I want to run the same statement for multiple times. What is the query? The same statement, the same statement I want to run for multiple times. How I can do that? Got my point, guys? I want to run this for 10 times or 100 times or 1,000 times. How can I do that?
100 and go.
100 and go?
Yeah.
Go 100.
Yeah.
Okay. So here what I can do, guys, go 100 if I give, if I select these 2 statements, the above statement will go for 100 times. Okay, if you give 1,000, okay, the above statement will go for 1,000 times or 10,000 or whatever you are comfortable. Just to insert some sample data, I'm giving the tip, guys. Okay, just to insert the same kind of records for
Sir,
multiple
only the above
times.
statement or
Only
all
the
the
above. Which one you selected, that one only will go. Okay, if you selected like this, then all these will go for 1,000 times. Okay, and if you selected like these two lines, I mean to say the above line will be executed for 1,000 times. If you selected these 2 lines, the above line will be executed for 1,000 times. Okay, so this is how generally you can use go statement and all. Right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Okay, so let me add Tim and from Dallas and from like 65,000 and okay, money. Okay, and from Bangalore and like 6 lakhs and this one, Anita from Hyderabad, okay, and 8 lakhs, and okay, so Kumar, sorry, 1 minute, network is disconnected, I guess. Sometimes you'll get a error message like this, guys, reconnecting kind of thing. So in what scenarios you'll get it? If the network is poor, okay, if the network is disconnected or if the network is poor, you'll get it like that. If the once the network is restored again, you will be back to the RDP screen. Okay, nothing to worry. In case in such scenarios, if you got any warning message or some kind of, just now last screen we have seen, right? In case if you're getting any such kind of errors and all, nothing to worry. Once the network restored, automatically you'll get your RDP screen back. Okay, so Kumar from Chennai, okay, so 9 lakhs, and what we can say, Mahesh from Hyderabad again, okay, so 7 lakhs. Okay, chalo. So I'm going to run these statements. Okay, so all text done, executed. Okay, so now I'm going to use select star from employee. Okay, so my table name is employee, right? So select star from employee. So you can see there are total 6 records are there, right? So now I want to filter the records. Okay, I want to filter the columns. How to do that? Okay, so I want to see a specific record, or I want to see all the records from a specific location, or I want to see all the employees, the salary more than some specific value. I want to see an employee with a specific employee ID, right? I want to see all these things. So how to apply all these things, how to search the data, what class we are going to use for that. Okay, so we'll discuss, guys. As a DBA, we should know this very class and all, right? Because lot of results, lot of records will be there. From that, you should be able to filter the records properly using this very class, right? I told you right in the last session, if you go to Azure, website, you can see lot of items. Okay, so you want to filter, right? For example, okay, so let me go to this. Okay, so imagine Azure. Okay, so let me open this Azure website. So now I want to filter, I want to buy, okay, some track pants. I want to buy some track pants, guys. So lot of items will be there. Okay, so I just want to buy track pants, men. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, men, in that men track pants. Okay, I'm going to select the track pants. So right when I selected the track pants, I can see all the track pants. Total how many items I can see, guys? Total 12,630 items I can see. So when I select the track pants, okay, so imagine track pants is a table. Imagine track pants is a table. So now when I choose men track pants, what will happen, guys? It will run a query on the database, select star from track pants, which is going to show you all the records like this. Okay, now you can see 12,000 records in this application, right? So now I want to filter the track pants from this list, from this 12,000. Definitely I don't have time to go through all the 12,000 items, right? I cannot search all 12,000 items. I'll have a specific criteria. Okay, so let's go with the men. Of course, I can see some records belongs to women also, so I'm going to choose men only. Okay, chalo. I just applied. These are all called filters, guys. I just applied one filter. Right, fine. So now what I'll do, I have a specific brand. I'll go with the particular specific brand and all. So what we can do for that, we can choose the brand from this particular, okay, what I can say, table. Okay, popular brands like Puma, Van Heusen, I'm going to choose, guys. Okay, so apply. So now you see, guys, out of 12,000 products, if I selected Puma, I can see 400 products. That doesn't mean remaining products are deleting from the table. Out of 12,000 products, it is just filtering 400 products. Now I just selected Puma, Van Heusen, and Campus Sutra. Okay, so I just selected these three brands. So when I selected these three brands, if I click apply, I can see 946 items. So that what it means, guys. So out of 12,000 products, what it did, guys, it just created a temporary table, and then it just copied the 946 records, okay, in that particular table. So now you can see 946 items, guys. That doesn't mean it is going to delete other records out of 12,000. Out of 12,000, you are able to see 946 as per the filters you have selected. Right, so then I can choose colors and all. I can choose black color, okay, where I can see only 291 products again, and I can choose some other products like colors like blue color and all. So when I'm applying the filters, you can see, and I can choose the size also. So size and all, let's go for this 36. Okay, so if I selected the size, I can see only 2 items. See, 12,000 products to 2 items I can see. Okay, that too, I apply lot of filters. See, these are the products, brands filters. These are the brands filters. This is color filter. This is color filter, and this is size filter. So based on that, I can see the products, guys. So this is how where class will work. In the same way, if you go to this, I have 6 records, or imagine 60 records, or imagine 600 records, or 6,000 records. Out of these, I want to pull any records specific to a condition. I want to see the employee with the employee ID 4. Or I want to see how many Smiths are there in my table or in my employees. Okay, I want to see all the employees belongs to Hyderabad. I want to see all the employees belongs to New York. Or I want to filter all the employees who are drawing more than 8 lakhs. I want to see all the employees who are drawing more than 8 lakhs. Or I want to see all the employee names or all the employee locations. Okay, all these things we can achieve with the help of where condition. Okay, so now see here, select star from employee. Star means, as you know, that it will select all the columns. First, let's go with the column filtering. Okay, so now I want to read only employee name from this table. How can I do that, guys? Star means all the columns, right? I just want to read only this column. What is the query? Guess it. Star means all the columns, but I want to read a specific column. What is the query for that?
Select employee name from table name.
Correct. Very good. Okay. So what we can do,
Employee
select
equal to-
only the column name. You have to give only the column name, employee name. Okay. Employee name. I'm going to filter the employee name column from, of course, from which table? Employee table. So if you just run this query, you cannot see all the columns, guys. Why? Because you are pulling only employee name column. So you can see employee name column. That doesn't mean all the other columns are deleted. Okay, so you can see all the other columns now. If you use this statement, you can see the whole table. If you use this statement, you can see the particular column. In the same way, I want to see salary of all the employees. Okay, I can just mention salary column from that particular table. Now tell me, guys, I want to see employee name and salary. Okay, only these 2 columns I want to see. What is the query I have to write, guys? Those who are already working, guys, you can just listen. Okay, let's try for others. Okay, so those who are new to this, let's try, guys. Select.
Employee name, comma, salary from
Okay,
employee.
right. Very good, guys. Okay, so what columns I want to pull, guys? I want to pull 2 columns, employee name, comma, salary. Okay, 2 columns, right? I need employee name and salary column I need. So employee name, comma, salary column. You have to include those two so that I can see employee name, comma, salary out of that particular, okay, 4 columns table, guys. In the same way, if you want to see employee ID also, what and all columns you want to see, you can simply add that particular columns, okay, in that select statement. And if you just want to see a single column, you can add single column, or multiple columns, you can add multiple columns and all. So like this, if you give column names in the select query, that particular columns you can see in the output, guys. This is how you can filter the columns. Okay, so now I want to filter the records, guys. I want to filter the records. So to filter the records, to filter the columns, you just have to mention the column names in the particular select statement. Okay. To filter the records, you have to use extra condition called where. Where condition you have to use. So how to use that one? Select star from table name. I want to pull all the records, okay, from or all the employees from Hyderabad location. I want to pull all the employees. All means what? All means what, guys? All means all the columns. I want to pull all the employees working
Star.
from Hyderabad. All means when I use all, you have to remember that star. You have to use star. So select star means pull all the employees from employee table where you have to use where condition where. So what is the condition, guys? Location, right? Location column is equal to Hyderabad, right? So where location, okay, select the location from the drop down and is equal to, so Hyderabad. Okay, so you have to mention this Hyderabad. So if you run this, so out of these 6 records, see how many records we can see. 2 records are there. Okay, so the location is Hyderabad. 1 minute. Okay, fine. So let me go back to this. Okay, so this is how we can write the condition, guys. Okay, select star from employee where location is equal to Hyderabad. If you apply, automatically you can see all the records from Hyderabad, guys. You can see all the records from the Hyderabad location.
Sharma?
So yes, Praveen.
Yes. Uh, Without knowing the column name, can we find any record?
How it is possible? Tell me.
That's what. If we don't know where the record
You
is in
should
which
know.
column,
You should know. You should know.
okay.
You have to see without giving location, without giving column name here, there is no way. Okay, so I don't think there is a way. Why? Because it has to search in that column, right? So without giving column name, I don't think it is possible to do it. Okay.
Like in Excel, if we want to find like this, we will we'll find through Control F. So like
That
that
is
here is
no, that is not possible.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So clear, guys. Where condition? Okay, so now tell me, I want to pull all the records, okay, with the name of Anita. Tell me, guys, what condition I have to write. I want to pull all the names with the name of Anita. in the employee table.
Select star from employee
Hmm.
where employee name Anita is equal to Anita.
Right, very good. Okay, select star from employee where employee name. Here I have to include employee name, and here string, right? So keep it in the single quotes. Okay, so just run this query so you can see all Anitas in that particular employee table. I have only one Anita, so I can see Anita, only one record is there. Okay, so now I want to pull all the records. I want to pull all the records, those who are drawing more than 5 lakhs package. Tell me guys, those who are drawing more than 5 lakhs package.
Select star from employees where salary is equal to greater than 5 lakhs.
Okay. Right? Okay. So what we can do, guys, here we can simply, okay. So guys, what about others? You are not opening your mouth. Is it clear, guys? Everyone? Right. Okay, so select start from employee. So what you have to do, guys, here, where the column name is salary, right? So just replace the column name salary. Here you cannot, if I want to pull all the employees, those who are drawing exactly 5 lakhs, then you can use is equal to condition. Okay, so I want more than 5 lakhs. Okay, more than 5 lakhs, those who are drawing more than 5 lakhs. So what I can do here, you can use greater than symbol and you can just use 5 lakhs. Okay, so 50,000, right? So you can use this, and if you run this, and now you're able to see there are 2 records, those who are drawing more than 5 lakhs. Money is drawing 6 lakhs, whereas Mahesh is drawing 7 lakhs, guys. Okay, Money is drawing 6 lakhs, and whereas Mahesh is drawing 7 lakhs. So this is how we can generally filter the records using where condition. We can filter the records, and I want to see the employee with the name of employee ID 8. What is the query, guys? Employee ID 8. Simple query. Tell me, guys.
Select star from
Praveen, wait. Don't tell this time. Okay.
Select star from employee.
Select star from employee.
Where employee ID 8.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. So select star from employee where the employee ID column is equal to, okay. So what we can give, just 8 or 5, whatever it is. So I don't think we have records, okay, with 8. So you don't get anything, guys. Okay, simply you get this blank table and all. So this is how generally we can use the where condition. So 99.99% is. So sometimes in the organization, when we are again filtering the records and all, so mostly we'll use this where condition, guys. So you should know the select queries with where condition and all, how to pull the records, how to filter the records, how to filter the columns and all. You should know why, because some maintenance related data and all, sometimes we have to use where condition. So it's good to know, okay, where condition, how to use the where condition and all. Okay, fine. Any questions, any doubts, guys, here? So for you, what I'll do, I'm going to give you one work, guys, for today evening. Okay, and what work I'll give you? Okay, so same, what you can do, guys. Notepad. Create a table. Okay, with the what we can do for students. Okay, create a table with the name of students, guys. Create a table with the name of students. Okay, so just include student ID, student name, okay, class, fee, okay, and phone number, location. Okay, so try to create a table with all these columns, and filter the records. Okay, filter the columns. First assignment, filter the columns. Try to filter one single column and try to filter the multiple columns, like 2-3 columns and all. That is the first assignment. This is also an assignment, guys. So after that, what you can do, filter the records, filter the records using where condition, guys. Okay, so I want all the students with the name, so specific name, and I want all the students from class 10th or class 5th or 6th, whatever it is. I want all the students, the locations, specific locations. So like this, try creating a table, guys, student table by the just try to create this by the next class, and once it is completed, just send your assignment to my WhatsApp. Okay, just add a click and just send it to me. I'll check that and I'll update you in case of any corrections are there. Okay. Sorry, guys. Right. Okay. Fine. So now let's discuss about the very important concept, system databases. Okay. So what is system databases? How many system databases are there? What each system database will do? What is the role of these system databases in running the SQL server? How to manage? Okay, so all these things will be discussed in this session, guys. So most of you know, right? So how many system databases are there in the SQL server, guys?
Five.
Yeah. So how many system databases are there? We have five system databases. Okay, so Shanmugh, we can see only 4 here, right? What about the 5th one? So now when you expand the SQL server databases, you can see system databases. If you double click on this folder, that particular object will open. So now you can see 4 system databases here: master, model, MSDB, tempdb. Right. So where is the 5th system database? I'll show you. Okay, after the discussion of these 4 system databases, we'll discuss about the 5th system database. So the 5th system database name is a resource database. Okay, master, model, MSDB, tempdb, and a resource database. Okay, how many system databases are there, guys? Okay, very important interview question. Very important interview questions. Okay, 5 system databases are there in the SQL server. 5 system databases are there in the SQL server. So first one is master, second one is model, third one is MSDB, fourth one is tempdb, fifth one is resource DB. Okay, resource database. So what master will do? Okay, let's go with the master DB first, master database. So what master will do generally? And again, guys, these are all system databases. System databases are very important to the SQL server. Those are the core databases. Without system databases, SQL server won't run. This is for sure. Without system databases, SQL server won't run. So the very important point is system databases will help SQL server to be up and running. Okay, SQL system databases will help SQL server to be up and running, guys. Okay, so how they are going to help us to run the SQL server? So the first very important system database is master database, guys. Master. So what is master DB? Master DB is very critical and crucial system database. Without master database, there is no SQL server. In simple words, a master is a kind of a brain of the SQL server. Master is a kind of a brain of the SQL server. All the SQL server related information will be stored in the system database, master database.
Sir,
Okay.
database engine is also brain of SQL Server.
Database engine, see, you cannot see both like the same. Database engine is also brain. That doesn't mean that I want to explain the importance of the object. Sir, database is also brain, master is also brain. How it is possible a person is having two brains? Right? That is your question, huh?
Yes, yes.
So I just want to explain the importance of the object. Yes, database engine is also brain, master is also brain. Okay. So master will contains all the SQL Server related information. SQL Server related information. Master is a very crucial database. Okay. Master is a very crucial database. Without master, there is no SQL Server. Without master, there is no SQL Server. Okay. And third one is master contains all the SQL Server related information. So what kind of information? It will be stored in the master database. So it is going to store all the database, other database. Master will store other database information, guys. Means other database data files and log files information. Information, I'm not saying other databases data and all. Okay. So Azure is a separate user database. Amazon is a separate user database. Sales is a separate user database. Okay. Sales is a separate user. Azure will store its own data. Amazon will store its own data. Sales also will store its own data. Right. So, for example, if you see here, if you go to the properties of this, and you can see some values, okay? The files, locations, and all some values you can see. Right? You can see some values where the files, where are the files located and all. So, once you created the database, all these values, whatever the metadata of all the user databases are there, the metadata of all the user databases and all other system databases information will be stored in the master database. Master database will store all other system databases and user databases metadata information, kind of the paths. Where are the paths like data file? As you will have data file and log file.
Sir, it will also store the path of system database.
Correct. It will also store the path of other system databases.
Sir, master will also contain its own information or not?
That's what master will store the SQL Server information. SQL Server, other system database. Let me complete first. Okay, you can ask your doubts. Once this is completed, master is completed, you can ask. Let me tell you what and all things it will store first. Okay. Right. So master will store other system databases information, the paths and all paths of each system database, paths of each user database will be stored in the master database. Master will store the configuration of the SQL servers, whatever configuration values are there. For example, if you go to memory, you can see some values here. If you go to processors, you can see some values here. If you go to some security or connections or database settings, you can see some values here. These are like configuration settings. So all the configuration related settings and all will be stored in the master database. All the configuration related settings and all will be stored in the master database. Sorry, guys. So apart from this, all the logins informations, whatever logins you can see here, all the logins informations, okay, the login name, login passwords, okay. So all the logins information also will be stored in the master database. All the logins information of the particular SQL server will be stored in the master database. So login name, login password, and all everything will be stored in the master database. So these are all the main things that master will store, guys. Master will store SQL server related information like configuration information and all, settings related information and all, and other system database files and user database files related information, logins related information, configuration related information, login names, login passwords related information, linked servers. Linked server is a separate concept, guys. Okay, so we'll discuss. It will help us to link between two RDBMS softwares. Linked servers information. So all this information will be stored in the master database. Okay. If master is down or if master is corrupted, can we start the SQL server, guys?
No, not.
No.
So we cannot start the SQL server. It's like a person without brain. Okay, is he going to respond? No way. Okay. So in the same way, there is no master, or if the master is corrupted, or if the master is like deleted. Okay. If there is no master at all, I cannot start the SQL server, guys. So that is the main importance of the particular master database. Master is very, very important, and without master, so there is no other system databases will come to online. There is no other user databases will come to online, and even you cannot log into the SQL server also. And if there is no master, SQL server won't run. First of all, SQL server will be stopped state. Why? Because it has to read. See, sorry, one minute.
Right. Okay. So without this, for example, without this model or temp DB, out of these four also, master model temp DBs are very important. MSDB, I'll tell you, not so important like other system databases, but it's also important database only. So if master is down, okay, so when you start the SQL server, all system databases has to come online. If master is down, SQL server can't find the paths of other system databases. Why? Because if master comes online, then only it can access from the master catalog, and then it will check whether the files are there in the place. If files are available, it will start the SQL server. Okay, it will start the SQL server. So for example, model database is there. Model database path, if you go and check it, so it will check in this path. Okay, so when master comes online first, what it will do? It will just go to this path. In this path, model database physical file is there or not. It will check model data, model.mdf and model log.ldf is there or not. First, it will check. So if these two files are there in this location, then that particular model will start. If model starts, then only TempDB will start. So each are interrelated, guys. So if master is not starting, it cannot find the path of model. If model is not there, TempDB won't be started. If TempDB is not there, SQL server won't be started. So this is how they are interrelated. So this information, the files of each database, not only system databases, user databases also. But the advantage with the system and user databases, in case if user database files are not found, SQL server will start. Only that particular database will affect. But if any of the system database is affected, the whole SQL server will be affected, guys. Okay. the whole SQL server will be affected. Clear, guys? Is it clear, master?
Yes.
Right. So this is how generally the master is going to take a key role in running the SQL server, guys. The master is going to take a key role in running the SQL server. So, sorry. After master database, we have one more system database called model database. So what is the use of this model database? Where we are going to use this, how it is going to be used. Okay. So model will act as a template for the newly created databases. Model will act as a, I already gave you the notes, guys, about all these databases. Okay, just go and verify. So nothing to worry. Model act as a template for the newly created database. Okay, so what it means, let's discuss. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not feeling well. Okay, please don't mind. Right. So how it is going to act as a template? What is meant by template, first of all? What is template? What is meant by template, guys?
Blueprint.
Yeah, fine.
Predefined structure.
Like a structure.
Defined structure, very good. Very good. So for example, you're driving, you are getting a call. What you can do generally? You're driving, you're getting a call. Or you are in a meeting where you cannot attend the calls. You're getting a call. What you can do? Either you can lift the call, okay, which is risky while driving, or you can just simply choose the template message. I'm in driving, call you later, right? So while driving, you cannot type I am driving. Imagine if it's an urgent call, okay? You cannot pick it up, okay? You are in the driving, you cannot pick up the call. But still urgent, the call is urgent. So you want to convey the message. So you cannot stop your bike or car aside and you cannot type the whole message, I'm in the driving, something like that, okay? So you can choose an option of template message, right? You can simply choose an option of template message. So if you just selected that option, what will happen, guys? Automatically, a message will goes to that particular recipient, okay? The caller, it will goes to the caller. I am in driving, call you later. So that message is already predefined. So while driving, if you are getting call, you can just simply reject with the template message. Okay, while I'm in driving, call you later. So you cannot, no need to type the whole message and all. That's already predefined text. The predefined format. If you select that particular format, automatically a message will goes to the recipient, guys. So in the same way, I'm creating a new database now. Okay, new database. Right. I am creating a new database now. So here I am going to give the database name. Okay. So what is the database name? Imagine Zomato is the database name. When you type Zomato, okay, you can see here logical names and all changing Zomato. Automatically, you can just click OK. You can just simply select OK. Automatically, it will create a new database. But you know that if you want to create a database, you need two files. These two files means, file means it will have a size. It will have a type. It will have a path. It will have some settings like auto growth and all. So from where we are getting all these settings, guys? From where we are getting all these settings? I'm not giving any type of the file. I'm not giving any initial size of the file. I'm not giving any auto growth settings initially. I'm not giving the path here you have to store in this location. Still, From where you are getting all these things? If you go to options, you can see a lot of other options also. Some of them are true, some of them are false, some of them are off, some of them are on. From where we are getting all these values?
From model database.
Right. From model database, correct. Okay, from model database, guys. Okay, if I click OK, automatically it will create the database. But I didn't give initial size, I didn't give the auto growth, I didn't give the path, all these settings, configurations, it is pulling from the model database. If you click OK, automatically Zomato database will be created, guys. Okay, automatically Zomato database will be created. I'm sorry, guys. So here, who is helping you to create a new database? Your model database is helping you. So, Shanmukh, what is the proof? I want proof. I don't believe you. Okay, chalo. Go to properties. Before that, I'm going to create one more database, new database. So this time I'm giving Swiggy. Okay. So same, you can see the file sizes, right? 88, 64, 64. Okay. If I click OK, it will be created. I'm going to click cancel. Now let me go to model database properties. So I'm going to change the files. Okay. Instead of 8 MB, I'll give 80 MB. Instead of 8 MB of log file, I'll give 81 MB. Okay. Instead of auto growth 64 MB unlimited, I'll give, okay, 100 MB auto growth. 100 MB auto growth. Okay. And I'm going to choose this 70 MB auto growth. Okay. And just to show you the settings. 100 MB, 70 MB, 80, 81. Okay. And if you want, you can change the path also. No problem. You can change the path also. I'm just clicking OK. Okay, done. Now, again, I'm trying to create a new database now. See here. Earlier, the initial sizes are 8 MB, 8 MB. Okay. So when you selected the auto growth, what happened, guys? If you see the auto growth, it was like earlier it was 64 MB, 64 MB. Now it is 100 MB and 70 MB. Right. So if you want, you can change the values also, the paths and all. Right. Guys, I have a quick question for all of you. After creating the database, can I change the path of the files? Is it possible?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
System database
Yes.
path? Can we change system database path also? System databases path and user databases paths we can change?
Yes.
Yeah. So the answer is yes, guys. So later also, once you created the database, later also you can change the path of the files. Okay, but depends upon the type of database. If it is system database, you have to stop the SQL server. If it is user database, you have to take offline the database. Then only you can just change the file, okay, to another location. Fine. See, the thing is, these are the main things, guys. Okay. So initial file sizes, when you change the model database properties, same properties are applying after changing the model database properties. And when you are trying to create a new database, the new settings are going to be applied as per the model database. That means you are simply, I'll tell you one important point. When you are creating a new database, what SQL server will do, it will create a copy of model database first. That copy you are going to rename as your user database. Clear, guys? Is it clear? when you are creating a new database, the SQL Server sorry guys, the SQL Server will create a copy of the model database, and you are going to rename that model database copy as per your user database. That is how SQL Server will manage, okay, the model database, and that's how it is going to manage the new databases, guys. Any questions here on the model database? Any questions, doubts? Yes.
Can we set system database offline?
Can we set this? Just try it. Is it going to allow or not? Just check it. Okay. So just to check it. Okay. These are small options, right? So I recommend you to just check it whether it is going to allow. Yes, Sagar, we'll discuss that one. We'll discuss. There are a lot of options in case if system databases are corrupted, how to recover and all. There are a lot of options. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So just write the answer. I'll tell you that is not possible. Okay. So that is not possible. If you cannot put the database, system database offline. Okay. So user databases you can put offline, but your system databases you cannot do that. Right. Any questions on model database, guys? Any questions on model database? So my question is, if master is not there, SQL Server won't start. That is clear, right? So why it won't start also we discussed. If model is not there, SQL Server will start, guys. If model is not there, will SQL Server start?
Yes.
Tell me your answers in the chat, guys. Okay, tell me your answers in the chat. If you can start, just type yes. If you cannot start, type no. Just I want to see, okay? How many of you are going to respond? Just type your answers. No problem, nothing to worry. Just respond. That is enough. Yes or no, just please respond. I got only 14 responses, guys. What about others? Not interested to respond? Okay. Chalo. Only 14 people responded. That's fine. So some of you said yes. Oh, everyone said no apart from Sagar and Shanwar. So Shanwar and Sagar said no. Remaining all are yes only. Shrikant, Ramesh, Venkat, Pooja, Venkat again, Pradeep, Ravindranath, Geeta, Virramaya, Tariq, Kiran, Shivakumar, Praveen Kumar. Okay, chalo. Very good, guys. Thanks for the response. So the answer is no. Okay. Answer is no. Why no? In case you might have asked, guys, Sharmukh, if model is not there or model is offline, I may face difficulties in creating the new database. But why I cannot start the SQL server? What is the relation? Okay. So these things will be discussed while we are discussing TempDB. Okay, you will get to know this already discussed. Sorry. So a few minutes back only we discussed this point. Till again, we'll discuss during the TempDB discussion why SQL Server won't start if model is not there. The answer is SQL Server won't start if model is corrupted or if model is offline. Why? What is the reason? We'll discuss during TempDB discussion. Okay. Just go for a break, guys. Come back after 15 minutes. So we'll discuss MSDB, TempDB, and ResourceDB. And we'll also discuss when you restart the SQL Server, when you start the SQL Server, in what order system databases will start. What are the system databases IDs will be discussed after the break. Okay. Chalo, just go for a break. Come back after 15 minutes, guys. We'll continue the discussion. I'll be in mute and the recording will be paused. Yeah. Fine. So we just discussed master and we just discussed model, right? So the main importance of the model is model will act as a template for the newly created databases. Whatever configuration values or whatever settings are there, all the settings will be inherited by the newly created database. The properties of model database will be inherited by the newly created database. I have a quick question for all of you. In case if I created one table in this model database, one sample table. So when I create a new database, so will that table also will comes in that new database, guys? Imagine I just created a employee table in this model. Now I created a new database. So if any tables are there in the model database, will the table also be inherited in the newly created database or not? Guess
Yes.
it. Guess. So the answer is yes, guys. Okay, so I told you, right? You are actually renaming, creating new database is nothing but you're actually renaming a copy of the model database. You're actually renaming a copy of the model database. So whatever objects are there, whatever model database settings are there, whatever model database configurations are there, all those things will be inherited. Okay. All those things will be inherited when you create a new database, guys. Okay. So the answer is yes, that is possible. Right, and one more important point, if there is no model, there is no SQL Server, means SQL Server won't be up and running, guys. SQL Server will be stopped. Okay, so why, what is the reason will be discussed in the TempDB discussion, okay? So now let's discuss about the MSDB. MSDB is not that much critical database, okay? MSDB is not that much critical database, okay? But when compared to other user database and all, MSDB is critical only. When compared to user databases, MSDB is critical only. But when compared to other system databases, this is the least priority system database, guys. MSDB is the least priority system database. Okay, so not that much important when compared to master model and TempDB. So what MSDB will do? Okay, so MSDB is mainly for automation purpose. Okay, automation purpose. MSDB will help you mainly for the automation purpose. Automation means what? Say for example, I have 100 databases in my SQL server. In the SQL server, I have 100 databases. I want to take backup of all the 100 databases for every 15 minutes. Is it possible, guys? Can I take 100 databases backups for every 15 minutes? Is it possible?
Manually not.
Yeah. So it's impossible to take the backup of 100 user databases manually for every 15 minutes. If it is at least for 1 week and all, maybe we can try. But for every 15 minutes, if you want to take backups of all the databases, okay, it's not at all possible in 15 minutes window, guys. So what we can do, but we have to take the backup of all the databases. We cannot skip it as it is not possible. What we can do, we can set up the automation. Automation means automatically it will do. SQL Server will trigger the backups. Automation means automatically SQL Server will trigger the backup. Automation means it has to automate. It will trigger automatically, whether it is backups or restores or whatever it is. It will trigger automatically. So these kind of, that is backups is just an example. Like this, we are going to deal with a lot of automation things and all in the organization. Okay, so all these things, the automation related stuff will be controlled by your MSDB. That means MSDB will store the automation related data like jobs information. How we can achieve automation, guys, in the SQL Server? What and all tools will use to achieve automation? We'll use jobs. Jobs is one tool or feature. Okay, so we'll use this feature to achieve the automation, and maintenance plans is one feature to achieve the automation. So all this information, the jobs information, maintenance plans information, backups information, restore information, okay, so everything will be stored inside your MSDB. Okay, the jobs related information, the automation related information, maintenance plans related information, backups related information, restores related information, log shipping related information, SSIS packages related information, everything will be stored inside your MSDB, guys. MSDB
Hello.
is mainly responsible for the automation. Yes, please.
If I took a backup of Amazon database, then MSDB will store where we store the backup path or not.
See, backups information, backup is different, backup information is different.
What is backup
MSDB
information?
backup information, generally you are going to take the backup, right? Where you are going to take the backup?
From database
Where, to which location?
to any drive,
Sorry?
to any drive.
To any drive. At what time you are going to take the backup?
Also at night 12 a.m.
Okay. So this is called information, backup related information. That's what is the size of the backup?
Okay. It will store the
Correct.
time the backup will take place
Yes.
and the size of
It
the
will
backup.
lot of these things like size of the backups, location of the backups, path of the backups, okay, and time of the backups. What type of backup you took, whether it is full backup, differential backup, log backup, backup related information, not backups. Again, guys, MSDB don't store the backups of other databases. No, that is wrong. MSDB will store the backup related information, automation related information, the information that belongs to like backups, restores. Okay, so this kind of information you can say, okay, backup related information. So like this MSDB will store backup related information, like to which location you took the backup, at what time you took the backup, who took the backup, what is the size of the backup file when you took the backup, what is the type of the backup file, what is the file ID, what is the backup set, what is the media set. These things and all will be stored in the MSDB. Backup related information, restore related information, SSIS packages related information, automation related information, jobs related information, maintenance plans related information, everything will be stored in the MSDB, guys. Everything will be stored in the MSDB. So if MSDB is down, will my SQL Server up and running, guys?
Yes.
Okay, are you sure?
No.
No? Yes? Maybe?
It should to be no.
It Should be no. Okay. Okay, fine. So the answer is yes. Okay. I told you, right, MSDB is the least system database, least priority system database. So if something happened to MSDB, okay, so still SQL Server will run. Only it will disturb the automation related things like jobs and all won't run properly. So like this, but SQL Server will be up and running. If something happened to MSDB, SQL Server will start. If something happened to master, if something happened to model, or if something happened to TempDB, SQL Server won't start at all. But if something happened to MSDB, SQL Server will start at least. Okay, but the automation related stuff and all will be disturbed, guys. So MSDB is the least priority system database in the SQL Server. I'll give you a question for everyone. I'll give you a gift also. Okay, if you tell the answer correctly, I'll give you a gift also. The question is, what is MS stands for in the MSDB? What is MS stands for? What is the abbreviation of MS?
Microsoft.
No,
Master.
sorry.
Sir.
Yes, yes.
Master server, sir.
Pull your talent, pull your creativity. Master server next. Microsoft next.
Maintenance schedule.
Maintenance schedule next. 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 Okay, so this is your assignment for today evening class. Okay, what is MS stands for in the MSDB? Check and let me know the answer. Okay. Right. Chalo, let's go with the TempDB. Okay.
Main storage.
Sorry, maintenance.
Main
Main storage. Okay. Next. Okay, fine. Just check it, guys. Check the answer and let me know. Okay, Google it. No problem. So let's discuss about the TempDB. So TempDB is a very crucial database like master, guys. Very, very crucial database like master. Without TempDB, there is no SQL Server again, the same point. Okay, why? Because I told you, right, it's very crucial database. Without TempDB, there is no SQL Server or SQL Server won't be up and running. So TempDB will be a temporary work area. TempDB will be a temporary work area for all the users. Last week, I guess in the interviews, till now I haven't heard about that question. So that is the first time I heard about that question. So what is the common database that every user can access? What is the common database out of all these databases? So we have system
TempDB.
databases, we have user databases. So what is the common database that every user can access? Is called TempDB. So I told you, right, TempDB is a temporary database, first of all. So which is temporary work area for all the users. Temporary work area for all the users. Whatever they are writing the queries, whether it is select queries or insert or update or whatever, the data processing will be done in the TempDB. So TempDB is a temporary work area, and it is a temporary work area for all the users, and the data processing and all, whatever data processing is there, the data processing and all will be done in the TempDB. So last time we discussed, right, this is called processing. I'm applying lot of where conditions. I'm applying lot of, okay, columns and all. I'm reading lot of columns and all. I'm applying the filters and all, where it will store this. I told you the main data is not going to be disturbed. The main table is not going to be disturbed. But how you got this? Instead of 4 columns, how I got only 3 columns? That means how I got this table? Is it a permanent table that I can see in the database? No. I cannot see this table in my database. It don't be existed, but still how you are able to read the data? How you are able to read the data? So this is called processing, guys. When you are applying some condition and all, okay, the processing will be done. This is just an example for processing. Like this, indexes and all will be there. Lot of things will be there for processing. So your TempDB will play a crucial role in processing the data. Everything will be processed in the TempDB only. It's a kind of unofficial RAM of the SQL server.
So
It's a
IO
kind
is
of,
known as processing.
sorry,
The input output is known as processing.
input output is not processing.
No,
I
I
didn't
want
get
to
your
ask what
question.
is processing?
What is processing? This is
Processing.
called processing. What is processing? This is called processing. Like processing means you give some information, you are getting some values. How you are getting the values?
Yeah, I want to told that processing means input and output from the data file.
Whatever it is, input, output, or whatever it is. Yeah, you can say input, output. Okay, that's fine. So this is called like you gave some information, so you are getting some information, right? Without processing it, you cannot get that information, right? You gave some inputs and you are getting the information. So how it is just trying to search the data? For example, if I give 5, so it is going to try to pull the particular data only. Okay, fifth record is there or not? So for this, it is showing the results in the form of table, right? But if this table is existed, then only I can see the data, right? But I didn't created this particular table, right? So out of 100 records, it is just pulling one record. That is called processing. It just processed and it is able to show you that particular record. So this is a temporary table that you can see, but where this temporary table is created in your TempDB. Okay, so where this temporary table is created, guys, in your TempDB. So like this, thousands of users will connect. They'll execute these kind of statements. So they are going to get the output from where they are getting, from the TempDB they are getting. You are actually reading results from the TempDB. Whatever you are reading now, you are actually reading it from the TempDB. So this is how it is going to manage. So SQL Server will take help of TempDB to process the data. Processing can be anything, input, output, or some other thing, So processing can be anything. What SQL Server will do, it is going to create a temporary table, okay, in the TempDB. From the temporary table, you are able to, okay, pull the records or you are able to see the data, guys. So TempDB is very crucial database as discussed. Why it is crucial? Without RAM, can I start the SQL Server? Without RAM, without RAM, can I start the laptop? Is it possible? So in the same way, without TempDB, where the data processing and all will be done. So SQL Server definition itself, SQL Server is an RDBMS software, will be used to store the data, to process the data, to retrieve the data. So the processing is a main characteristic of the SQL Server. So if there is no TempDB, there is no processing. If there is no processing, there is no SQL Server. So TempDB is a very crucial database, like master how it is important, model how it is important. TempDB is also important. One more point related to the TempDB is SQL Server will create a new TempDB when you restart the SQL Server or machine. Okay. So when you restart the Windows server, when you restart the SQL Server, it will create a new TempDB every time. Every time it will create a new TempDB. You don't believe? Let me show you. When this database is created, right click, properties, If you see here, when it was created, when it was created, when it was created, guys.
Today.
Yeah,
Today,
today
today.
at what time?
7:20, 7:12.
7/12/26. Okay, let me restart the SQL server. Remember this date and time. Today, 7/12/26. Okay, so I'm going to restart it. Right click, restart the SQL server. Just hit yes, and again hit yes.
Sir, most of the time, the question we were asking in the interview, like we can take the backup of the temp database.
We'll tell you. Yeah, we'll tell you. That is also important point. That also I'll cover. Right. So refresh it. Okay. Now go to this database, system database, temp.db. Right click, properties. Now check the date and time when it was created.
Now.
Now, earlier it is 7:26 or 7:12/26 seconds. Now it is 8:53/29 seconds. Now the time is 8:53. Server time is 8:53. So it will create, whenever you restart the SQL server, it will create a new temp.db. Guys, is this clear? Whenever you restart the SQL server, it will create a new temp.db. As it is temporary database, whatever things are there, everything will be dropped when you restart the SQL server, and again it will create a new temp database, new temp.db every time when you restart the SQL server. Again, when you restart the Windows server also, not only SQL, if you restart the Windows server, technically all the applications will be restarted in this machine, right? So then also a new temp.db will be created. So what is the easiest way that when the SQL server last rebooted, how to check when the SQL server last rebooted? Tell me, guys. How?
Just now you have shown temp DB.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. You can tell temp.db properties, we can see when it was created. Okay, so the easiest way that when the SQL server is last restarted, we can check it from the temp.db properties. Okay, we can check it from the temp.db properties. So where we can check when the Windows machine last restarted? Windows machine.
Logs, event logs.
Event logs. Any other way? Any other
Yeah.
easiest way? Easiest way, event logs means I have to go and check each and every entry, right? Apart from that, any other
Yeah.
easy way? Okay, so how to check when the SQL server last restarted? So one method is temp.db when it was created and all. Okay, this is one method, and you can also check the SQL server logs management. Okay, and error logs, SQL server logs. Okay, when the last current error log is created, current error log will be created generally. 1 minute, just please 1 minute, guys. Hello? Yes, yes. Right. Okay. So what is the easiest way to check when the SQL server is last restarted, guys? That's going to be performance. Very good, Kiran. Okay. So one is you can check the temp.db properties. That is one thing. Yeah. we can find the TempDB properties when the SQL Server last restarted. That is one thing. And the second is you can check the SQL Server logs. I'll tell you what is this logs and all when we can see these logs and all. Okay. So we'll tell you guys there is a separate class on the error log, how to check the error log, what to check the error log. Okay. So will be discussed again in the separate class. So this is very important in case if something goes wrong in the SQL Server, how to check it, where to check it, which tool will help us to check it. All these things we can find it from the error log. I'll tell you how to read this error log and all. We have separate session on this. Okay, don't worry. So this is one thing. Yeah.
Actually, you told that after restarting the SQL Server, automatically the TempDB will be created.
Correct.
New TempDB. Is there any loss in the data for that?
TempDB, right? I told you the data will be temporary data will be stored. Only temporary data will be stored. Okay. So definitely whatever data is there in the TempDB, everything will be cleared. Whatever data you stored in the TempDB, I mean to say you don't store it while processing the data will be stored. Just a minute, just 1 minute. I have to start one meeting. Yeah.
We'll wait for 2 more minutes.
Right. Okay. Done. I just started one more meeting. Let me send class. Right. Chalo. So yes, whatever data till that time is there in the TempDB will be cleared. That's what I told you. Like when you restart the SQL Server, and a fresh TempDB will be created. So whatever previous data is there, you don't find it in that particular TempDB. It will be cleared completely. So data, it's not a data loss. Again, it's not a data loss means if you are able to like if this data, if user databases are clearing and all the data that is there in the user databases will be gone. But only for TempDB, whatever data is there when you restart the SQL Server, the whole TempDB will be cleared completely. You don't find anything. As it is a temporary data, that will be fine. For example, you are using RAM. Just treat TempDB as a RAM. So when you are using the system for 24 hours or 48 hours, the data will be stored in the RAM temporarily. Right, fine. It will be loaded the data particularly in the RAM. But when you restart the laptop, what will happen? The whole RAM will be cleared, right? Again, things will starting loading in that RAM slowly, right? Again, things will started loading in the RAM slowly, right? When you are opening the task, when you are doing some processing and all, again, RAM will start its work. In the same way, when you restart the SQL Server, TempDB will be cleared completely. Nothing will be in the TempDB. A fresh TempDB will be created. Again, when user started doing the processing and all, or user started running the queries and all, slowly the data will be loaded inside the TempDB, guys. This is how generally it will work. Just a minute. Right, clear? Clear, guys. When to where to check when the server Windows Server last restarted? This is like SQL Server last restarted. We can check from TempDB properties and error log. Where to check Windows Server last restarted? This is also very important point. You should know, guys. Go to Task Manager. What is the shortcut to open the Task Manager? Can anyone tell me?
Control Alt Delete.
Control Alt Delete.
Or right click the toolbar. Right click the toolbar and open the task.
Right click.
Alt space.
Shortcut means keyboard short. I mean to say Alt space.
Alt space.
Alt space. Alt space. I'm not getting Alt plus space, right?
No,
Alt
control.
space bar.
Alt
Alt
space.
space bar.
I'm not getting.
Control or delete will give you the task.
No. Control delete. That's okay.
Windows run
Will show you
TSP.
See, Control delete will show you the 5 options. Okay, it is going to lock your system and it will show you 5 options that you can see. Okay.
In the run, we can take the TSP command.
Yeah. What is that command? I'm asking that command.
TSK mgr.msc.
TSK, na?
TASK.
Task mgr.
Yeah, just task mgr is enough. Okay. Task mgr is enough to open the task manager. Okay. So either you can just right click on the taskbar, you can choose, or you can use task MGR. So go to more details. If you go to performance tab, you can see uptime. See here, this is server uptime. My server is up and running since 1 hour, 54 minutes, 8 seconds. So this is how you can find out when the Windows server is last restarted. You can use some commands also, but this is the easiest way. You can use different commands in the command prompt, but this is the easiest way. When your Windows server lost, sometimes in the organization you can see the server will be up and running since many days, 234 days. 234 days means what? 8 months like that. Since 8 months, the server is up and running. Like this, you can at least guess when the Windows machine last restarted. At least you will get an idea when the machine is last restarted, and also like that you can see under your task manager performance tab, uptime tab, you can see since how many hours, days the server is up and running. So two more important points related to the TempDB. As TempDB is a temporary database, the data will be stored temporarily where there is no sorted order. There is no proper order. TempDB is a kind of a rough notes, guys. Rough notes. It's just a kind of rough notes where you can mention everything in an inappropriate order and all, right? So that's why as the TempDB will store the data temporarily, you cannot take the backup of TempDB. So remember this point, very important. You cannot take the backup of TempDB. Why? Because it is going to store the data temporarily. On temporary basis, it will store. While user is executing some queries, whatever tables he is using, whatever combinations he is using, the data and all will be pulled in the TempDB. Once user closed his session, that particular whatever combinations it was used for that user will be deleted. He just came, he used this workspace, and then he just cleaned and he just go away. This is how it will work. So there is no permanent data in the TempDB. Only temporary data will be there. Once the user closed his session, whatever temporary tables created as in this session will be deleted from the TempDB. So temporary table will be temporary data will be stored in the TempDB. So don't know when it will be available, when it will be deleted. So that's why we cannot take the backup of the temporary database or TempDB. This is one important point that I want to tell you. Second important point, we discussed it, right? Shanmukh, if model is not there, why we cannot start the SQL server? Any reason now? Can you tell me? Can you guess? If model is not there, or if model is corrupted, or if model is offline, why we cannot start the SQL server? Any guess, guys?
Sir, because TempDB will created when the database will be started. For creation of TempDB, it will copy the template from the model database. That's why.
Good, good, correct answer. So we discussed it, right, about TempDB just now. We discussed it, right? So TempDB will be created when you restart the SQL server. Right. Without TempDB, there is no SQL server. You all know, right? This point, without TempDB, there is no SQL server. Right? Agree, guys? Agree? Without TempDB, there is no SQL server. Like I told you, TempDB is a kind of unofficial RAM of the SQL server. Without RAM, we cannot start laptop. Without TempDB, we cannot start SQL server. So when you... Yes, please.
Could you please explore the TempDB database and
can we?
could you please explore the button plus button? Can you please that one? TempDB.
TempDB. Yeah, that's what. Okay, you can just check the options and all. Whatever you can see, you can just you can use some other queries as in SQL. Yeah, right. You can just see the options and all. Okay, you can just see. You don't see any tables here. Okay, you don't see any tables and all here. You don't see any user related tables and all. Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, so TempDB is only used for fetching the data or insert or update?
See, it's not like fetching and all. It's a temporary work area. Whatever user running their queries and all. If it is related to like processing or if it is related to the fetching and all, generally it will use temporary space. That should be temporary temp table, temp DB.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you see like this, you can see the temporary tables and all. Like this, you just explore the things. Okay, you just explore the things. So
Shalini, is there any chance of if there will be a particular space for the any database, right? Drive.
correct.
Is there any chance to pull up?
Yes. Will be discussed. All these things will be discussed. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely. If lot of users are connecting to the SQL server and lot of users are running big queries and all, it will use the common work area is TempDB only. So definitely the TempDB will be filled quickly. Okay, the TempDB will be the data that you are using, the files that belongs to TempDB data files and log files, whatever is there. I'll tell you about this TempDB configurations in the performance tuning. Okay, what kind of best settings we can apply on the TempDB? Why? Because if TempDB is good, the SQL set performance will be good, guys. So we have to apply different configuration settings for TempDB. Okay, so we'll add multiple data files as per CPU cores. So why? Because it is very important, and the files that you can see here, these files as of now stored in the C drive, but in the organization we don't keep it in a what we can say with other drives. We will create a separate drive for TempDB. We'll create a 1 minute. So we'll create a separate drive for the TempDB. Why? Because temporary, as a lot of users are going to connect to this workspace, it will be filled very quickly. In case if you have a lot of transactions, so the data files and log files will be filled, guys. If you keep this in other drives with the other database data files and log files, the drives will go with the empty spaces. That means there will be no free space in the drives. So it will create problems for other databases. To avoid this in the organization, generally, there is a separate drive for TempDB. There is a separate drive. Only will store TempDB data files and log files in separate drive. Okay, so that it don't
monitor this TempDB.
Sorry?
Who will monitor?
We will only monitor. We will only monitor. I'll tell you, we have different topics. We just started SQL Server. How to monitor, who will know if the disk is full, if the file is full, how we'll get to know. All these things will be discussed in the automation class. Okay. Yeah. So like this, the data, the TempDB data files and log files will be filled very quickly, right? So that's why we don't keep these files in the other database drives. We'll create a separate drive for TempDB and we'll store TempDB data files and log files in that particular drive. So the drive generally it will be filled and all. You will get a disk space issues for the TempDB drive. I'll tell you how to manage in the performance tuning classes. Okay, at the end of the sessions, I'll tell you. The answer is, if model is not there, see, very simple. When you restart the SQL server, a new TempDB will be created. While creating that new TempDB, you can see, right? See, you can see the difference. From where you are getting this 80 and 8. From where you are getting this 64 MB and 64 MB. From where you are getting this all the files and all. Okay. So from where we are getting these values and all, whatever values you can see, from where we are getting all these values. So we are getting all these values from the TempDB only, guys. The configuration values and all, everything, whatever options are there, everything. It is, I told you, right, when you restart the SQL server, a new TempDB will be created. So while creating this new TempDB, again, it has to depends on which database. Which database will help you to create the new databases. Which system database will help you to create the new databases. Which system database will help you to create the new database? Model DB. Model DB. If model is not available, how come this TempDB can get the settings? From where it is going to get the settings? From where it is going to inherit the values? Guys, is this clear? If model is not there, TempDB won't be created. If TempDB is not created, SQL Server won't start. Is it clear, everyone? Why model is crucial?
Hello.
Yes.
I have one small doubt.
Yes, please. Guys, is the first wait just a minute. Guys, is this clear? Everyone?
Yes.
Any questions here, guys? So
Hello.
very simple. 1 minute, just 1 minute, please. So when you restart the SQL Server, a new TempDB will be created. So while creating this, you have to provide in which location it has to be created and all. So generally, what will happen and all, the values, the settings, the configurations of TempDB will be inherited from the model database. If model is not accessible, we cannot create a TempDB. TempDB won't be created automatically. So if TempDB is not created, SQL Server won't start. Okay, so this is how generally SQL Server will manage the system databases. So that's why how master is important, model is also that much important, and TempDB is also that much important. Master directly it will take effect. Model indirectly it will take effect. Okay, while starting the SQL Server. Yes, tell me, please. I'm sorry.
Hello. Suppose I have not restarted my SQL Server. Model database.
I have not restarted my SQL Server.
And my model database is for
Your voice is breaking, Vibhuti.
now it is audible, sir.
Yes.
So that my model database is corrupted, and I did not have to restart my SQL Server in that case.
Guys, can you hear him properly, or is it my voice? Is it issue from my side?
Yeah, actually, he's saying the server is not starting due to model database not working properly,
Correct.
showing error.
Yeah.
He was saying like just for temp database is working or not.
If model is corrupted, TempDB will work or not?
Yeah.
No, it won't. See, if already started and running, that's fine. Okay. If why? Because
that's I don't ask.
yeah, why? Because while starting only, TempDB will take the help of model database. While starting only. Once it was started, if model is corrupted, nothing, no problem. While creating new database, it will create some problems, but already SQL Server is up and running. TempDB is already configured, so it don't create the issue. But when you are creating a new databases and all, definitely it will create a problem. So if model database is corrupted, so when you restart the SQL Server, next time TempDB won't be created. But if it is already up and running and all, immediately don't take any effect, but later it will be affected. SQL Server will be affected. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, storing a database, then it will take property from model database, or
Storing. I didn't get you. No.
we are restore any database, then the properties of database will be depend on model database, or
generally depends on the backup file only. Why? Because in the backup file you will have MDF, right? In the MDF, all the information, metadata information and all will be stored. Okay. So while restoring the database as per the MDF properties, it will restore.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions? Questions? How many of you are new to this class, guys? I know some of you are fresh faces, okay, for this class. Okay. Yeah, okay. Right. Okay. So let's discuss one more important system database, guys. With that, I'll end the session for today. So the other system database is resource database. Okay. A resource database. So Shanmukh, you discussed about system databases like model. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah. So we just discussed about the master model, MSDB, TempDB. We can see those system databases. So you are talking about another database where we cannot see in the management studio. Okay, so we have one more hidden database called resource database. Okay, so we have a query actually. So using that query, we can see all the databases information. sp underscore help db will help you to see all the databases related information, right? Database name, database size, who created this database, what is the ID of the database, when it was created, what is the status, whether it is offline, online, read only, standby, okay, suspended or suspected, whatever it is, the states under multi-user mode, single user mode, everything you can see under status column. So you can see some other values also, and you can see compatibility levels also. Here also I can see master, model, MSDB, TempDB, but I cannot see the resource database. So where we can see that resource database? What is the proof that we have a resource database? First of all, let me tell you what resource database will store. A resource database is a hidden database, and this was introduced from SQL Server 2005. Before 2005, there is no resource database. So mainly, what resource database will store, you guys? SQL Server version related information will be stored in the resource database. That is the main purpose of the resource database. The resource database will store the SQL Server version, the build number in related information will be stored in the resource database. Resource database is a hidden database, okay? And where the resource database will play a key role, if anyone is asking, the answer is during the patchings of the SQL servers, you're actually updating the version of the resource database. So automatically it will be applied on the SQL Server build number again. During updating the SQL servers, like applying patchings and all. So update is nothing but applying some updates, right? Updates means patchings. We have service packs. We have separate class on patchings, don't worry. Service packs, cumulative updates, GDR, general distribution releases, QFE, quick fix engineering. These are all different updates like hot fixes kind of thing. So resource database is mainly responsible to store the version of the SQL Server. And it will play a key role in patching the SQL Server. When you are patching is nothing but you're applying patching on SQL Server is nothing but you're actually patching the resource database. You're actually patching the resource database, guys. So that's why the resource database version will be changed. So automatically you can see the change in receipt. When you apply patches on this, you don't see this number. This and this are common, 15.0 you can see. But the third part and fourth part, actual build number and revision history. Third part is actual build number. Fourth part is revision history. These two values will be changed automatically. I'll tell you more about into the patchings class. So this information will be stored. The whole information, the number and all will be stored in the, I'm sorry guys. Yeah. So the build number version, Srikanth is doing something on my screen. Let me clear all drawings and let me disable the notions for others. Okay, done. Right. So again, resource database is a hidden database. A resource database, generally there is a saying like resource and master, both are like wife and husband kind of thing. A resource and master and resource both are a wife and husband kind of thing. How master in the same way resource also will be organized. And resource is a hidden database as discussed. Resource will play a crucial role in applying the patchings, in updating the SQL Server. Resource database will store the version of the SQL Server. These are the four important points related to the resource database. So where I can see the resource database, generally you cannot see this resource database in either SP help DB, or we have one more query called select star from sys.databases. Okay, we have one more query called sys.databases. So there also you cannot see resource database. Okay, don't see, you cannot see the resource database and all. Okay, so there is a query called select star from sys.sysalt files. Will help you to get the files information of all the databases, data files and log files information of all the databases, including system and user database. If you run this, if you go down, you can see the resource database information. Okay. Yeah, not showing the latest versions. Yeah. Okay, see here. See here. The last one. Okay, see here. You cannot even see resource database and all. You can simply see data and log. So to which database it was? Just double click on this column. It will be expanded. Sorry. See here. MS SQL system resource.mdf. MS SQL system resource.mdf. So where I can see the files physically, copy this path, Windows R, paste it here, delete the last file. Okay, file. I'm sorry guys. Just hit enter. In this location, in the bin folder, you can see the resource database, data files and log files. Okay, if you go down, see here, resource database, data file and log file.
Sir, can we open the data file and log file manually?
We cannot open. If you try to open, it will be corrupted. Okay, I am double clicking on this. You will get like this. Okay. See, you are attempting to open a file to type system file.mdf. These files are used by the operating system and by various programs. Editing or modifying them could damage your system. Okay, you cannot directly open. Okay, if you try to open still, it will be corrupted. Okay. So these
both,
are
sir,
the
both log file and data file.
both. Okay, so these are the two files of a resource database, guys. So from where we can get it, program files. If you go physically, Microsoft SQL Server, instance root directory, MS SQL, bin and folder. Okay, if you go down there, you can see resource database, data file and log files, guys.
I'm not getting your audio.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Yeah, can you hear me guys now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Sorry, I'm in the mute. Right. So there are two important points. So you can see the files physically, okay? You cannot see resource database directly in the management studio. You can just, okay, check the physical files of the resource database, guys, okay? Where I can see in the C drive, program files, SQL Server, instance root directory, MS SQL, bin and folder. I'm sorry, guys, so sorry. Okay, so, and if you go down, you can see resource database data file and resource database log file. This is how we can see the physical files of resource database. Okay, so in the management studio you cannot see these files and all resource database files, I'm saying. Right, so two more important points about the system databases, two more interview questions you might get. So they might ask you what are the database IDs for system databases. What is the master DB ID? I told you, right, in SQL Server, ID will be there for every object ID. Databases will have database IDs. tables or objects will have object IDs, files will have file IDs, logins will have SIDs, security identifiers. So ID is one property which will help you to identify the particular object. That is one question they'll ask. System databases, when you restart the SQL server or when you start the SQL server, in what order system databases will start? These two are very important interview questions. So let's discuss the database IDs first. Okay, based on the importance of the database IDs are there. So what is the very important system database, guys, in the SQL server? Very, very important system database.
Master.
Master.
Master ID is one. After master, what is the next priority database, system database?
Model.
Model.
Model, are you sure?
Yes, model.
Yes. Model.
Are you sure?
TempDB.
Model or TempDB? Tell me, guys.
Model.
Model.
Model. Without model, TempDB can't be created.
Okay, so model is the important database. Okay, but that's okay. Model will help you to create
Resource.
the TempDB. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I agree with you. That is also important, but that's okay. So model is the very important the system database. I agree with that, but it will help you to create the TempDB. That's it. It don't help you to process the data and all, right? So processing is very important, right? Okay. So TempDB is the next important system database. So TempDB ID is 2. Next model will come, which is 3. MSDB ID is 4. Then what is the resource database ID? Can anyone tell me? What is resource database ID?
5.
5, huh? Guess, guys, what is the resource database ID? Okay. Guess. We don't have time, please. We have only 2 minutes time. We can close the session for now. 4 already we have allocated, right, Anu? 4 is allocated to MSDB. 4 is locked.
72,000. 72,000.
Why 72,000, Digvesh? Digvesh, who is that? No, Vibhuti, I guess, right? Why 72,000, Vibhuti?
3276.
Who said?
Because the number of database we can create.
So how many number of databases we can create, Vibhuti?
32676.
32676. Let's go to SQL Server. See here. I just opened this command. I hope everyone, okay, looked into it. If you see here, if you see this column, what is this database, guys?
Yeah, 32767. That's what.
Okay, so this is your resource database, right? Okay, so no one will ask you guys till now. Only one person asked this. What is resource database ID? 1 or 2 people. That's it. I remember hardly. Okay, so the resource database ID is 32,767.
If resource database is corrupted, then
SQL Server won't start. That is 99.99% resource database won't be corrupted. That's why it is not visible to others generally. If it is visible and all, there might be a chance that people can do some other operations and all. There is a chance. As it is not visible to public, as it is not accessible by users, 99.99%. Till now in my 10 years career, I never seen that resource DB is corrupted. But still, if resource DB is corrupted, SQL Server won't start.
How the resource database is different from like system database?
The same thing. It's not different actually. Very simple thing.
Can we see? Yeah, can we see any tab from resource database is there?
No. We cannot see that. That's what you can see only physical files. You can see resource database physical files. You cannot see these files directly in the management studio.
Okay, sir. So for that, we just need to run through query. Which one, like second one or queries?
Only this query will help you to find out the path and all. Mostly the path also, the same path will be there. But still you want to see if you want evidence and all, you can use this query.
It means all the user databases comes under the resource database.
All the user databases
Comes under resource database.
Why like
like
that?
all the names.
Why?
Amazon Azure is coming.
Why?
I'm asking. I'm
No.
asking.
No. See, this is a table that it will show you all the databases. So is it showing under resource database or what? No, right? This is a table which will show you master, model, MSDB, TempDB, everything will show you in this table. You are just pulling the files of all the databases. So it will show you the files of all the databases. Nowhere you can see other files are storing. See, one more thing, guys. People generally will think user databases and all will be stored in the master database. No, there is a perception that user databases will be stored in the master database. No, no database will be stored in any other database. Databases are individual contributors. Each database is identical. Each database is different. No database will be stored in any other database.
So actually, my main question is, what is the use of exactly the resource database?
Discuss it, right? Initially, you are there in the discussion. What is the use of the resource? Guys, what is the use of the resource database? What we discussed about the resource database?
It acts as a parallel to master database. It stores all the information.
So resource database
For batch.
only stored version detail.
Version. It will store the version. The main thing is version.
Version and patch.
Correct. The version of the SQL server will be stored in the resource database and it will help you. It will play a key role in the patching. While updating the SQL server, your resource database will play a key role. Indirectly, you're updating the resource database. Your patching SQL server means indirectly you're patching the resource database. Okay, so these points we have already discussed while starting, during the resource database. Fine. So that is one thing. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. Right. So one more thing. These are the IDs of the system databases. Okay. So resource database ID is 32,767. In what order system databases will start? When you restart the SQL server, in what order system database will start? Can anyone guess? Just guess it, guys. First, which system database will start?
Master.
Master, very good. Master knows all the other databases, files and all. So definitely master only should start first. Next, after master?
Resource database.
After master?
Resource.
TempDB.
TempDB. TempDB. Who said TempDB? Vibhuti.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you an assignment for you, okay? Fine? Assignment, not punishment, okay? TempDB depends on model DB while creating. Okay, so this you have to write for 10 times. Okay, 10 times. Just write it down on the paper and send it to me. Okay. So why? Because since 2.5 hours we are discussing, even though I'm not feeling well, since 2.5 hours we are discussing. Now again, if you directly tell like TempDB will start first, there is no point of this 2.5 hours discussion. Agree? Agree, Vibhuti?
Yes, sir. I will write.
Yeah. Right. So master, then I told you, right, master and resource both are wife and husband or lovers, whatever is comfortable. Okay. So after master, generally a resource database will be started. Then which system database will start, guys? Guess it. Model. It should start model. After model only TempDB can start. Otherwise, without model there is no TempDB, right? After model only TempDB can start. Okay. So guys, if you tell the order like this, I don't have any issue. But this is very important. Without model, TempDB can't be started. So you tell any order, not an issue. Why? Because you also don't know for the first time. But we already discussed that without model, TempDB won't be there, right? So this is very important point. That's why in the interviews also they'll ask why we cannot start SQL Server without model, and also that's why. Okay. Finally, MSDB is least priority system database. After that, your user databases will come to online. User databases will come to online. Okay, that's it, guys. That's it for today. Okay, so yeah. Any questions, guys? Quickly, we have already crossed the time, 8 minutes. So in this order, we can see the system databases will start, guys. First master, resource DB, model DB, temp DB, finally MSDB, and then user databases will start. Okay, so that's it for now, guys. So in case of any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we are good to disconnect now, and we are going to connect again today evening at 7 p.m. IST. For US people, it will be tomorrow morning 9:30 a.m. guys. Okay. Yeah. All good, guys.
Yes.
Okay. Chalo. That's it for today, guys. I mean, that's it for this. So we'll connect in the evening. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Bye.